So let's solve this question. We have been given a number of output statements, as you can see, in Java, and we have to find the results one by one. So let's go step by step. We have two strings, name1 equal to India and name2 equal to Noida. So how does it look like? We have a string Noida. We have a string Noida. So remember, arrays in Java work through reference types. So the name of the array is simply a pointer to the first location. And these are my indices 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. And the same goes for, this will be name 2, and the same goes for name 1. So we have another collection of characters, this time referenced by name 1. So what are my characters? I, N, D, I, A. And the indices are once again from 0 to 4. And we have name 1 acting as a reference to it. So this is name 1. Okay, so now let's solve each of these statements. First one is system.out.println. What is this println? This will print the output on a line and then transfer the control to the next line. That's why we have ln, new line. Name1 dot to uppercase and then dot to lowercase. So how do we solve this? First, we solve this part. Name1 dot to uppercase. So what is name1? Name1 is India. So if I apply the to uppercase method on this, the output that I'll get is India, all in caps. I'll get this, right? And then if I apply a to lowercase, then I'll get again everything back in lowercase, right? So name1 dot to uppercase will convert my string all in caps, and then again the to lowercase method will bring it back to the lowercase characters. So my output for A is INDIA, India. What about the next one? System.out.println name1.index of I. Now see, the string that we are referring to is once again name1, that is this one, India, dot index of I. Now the interesting thing is we have two characters with the value I. See, we have two character variables. The one at index 0 has a value of I and the one at index 3 also has a value of I. So which one to choose? Whenever only index of is specified, we will always choose the first character, the first matching character. So the first matching character is at index 0 and my answer is therefore 0. See, name1 dot index of I. So index of I means the first I character that I encounter, I will take the index value of that character. So the first I that I encounter here is this one, and what is its index? Its index is 0. So my answer is 0. Now let's move on to the third one. Name1 dot last index of I. Now see, you can probably guess what will be the answer of this. This is asking for the last index of I. That means in a string, I may encounter multiple I's. I will consider the index of the last I that I encounter. So in name1, I have only two I's, as you can see, the one at index 0 and the one at index 3. So which is the last I that I've encountered? This one, right? I've encountered this I at the last position, or this is the latest, or I think last would be a better word. So this is the last I that I have encountered. And what is the index of it? Its index is 3. So my answer is 3. I hope it's making sense. And now moving on to number D, name1 dot compare to name2. Now what does this compare to method do? This compare to method compares two strings for lexicographic order. So compare to will compare two strings for lexicographic order. What is lexicographic order? Lexicographic order refers to alphabetic order. That means the order in which words appear in the dictionary. So name1 dot compare to name2 will give me a value, an integer value. Now looking at that integer value, I'll be able to determine whether name1 should come before name2 in dictionary order or vice versa, or even if name1 and name2 are two strings which are exactly the same. So how does it work? Now see, compare to, remember the compare to method. The compare to method returns three values. I mean, it can return any one of the three values or three types of values it can return. It can either return a positive value, it can either return 0, or it can return a negative value. What happens if it returns a positive value? If it returns a positive value, then it means that name1 comes after name2. That means the order that I'll get here, if it's positive, then the order that I'll get is name2, name1. Right? This is the order that I'll get. If my two strings will give me a positive value on comparison or on applying the compare to method, if I get a positive value, then the string name2 occurs before name1 in dictionary order. What happens if I get a 0? If I get a 0, then these two strings are equal. And what happens if I get a negative value? If I get a negative value, then it implies that name1 comes before name2 in dictionary order. Right? Now, how do we compare the values? Right? How can I compare these characters? Now remember, underlying every character constant in Java is a Unicode value. Underlying every character constant in Java, we have a Unicode value. Now, for letters of the alphabet, these are the same as the ASCII values. That means the ASCII value of small n is the same as the ASCII value. The ASCII value of small n is same as the Unicode value of small n. So what happens is we take the difference of the Unicode values. So name1 is India, and what is the first character that I see here? I. What is its Unicode value? Its Unicode value is the same as its ASCII value. And what is the ASCII value of small I? The ASCII value of small I will be, let's see, it's capital small a till small z lie in the range of 97 to 122, right? So this is the range, and I occurs at position 9. So if I add 9 to 97, what I get is 106. So this is for small I. And what about small n? Small n, I'll add a value of 14 to 97 and I'll get 111. So I get 111 for small n. Now, if I take the difference of 106 and 111, I am left with minus 5. Now, since the difference of the Unicode values did not yield a 0, we will not compare the next characters. The first point at which we encounter a non-zero value will be our stopping point to conclude that either name 1 comes before name 2 or name 2 comes before name 1. In this case, since we have got a negative value, we can safely conclude that name 1 occurs before name 2. That means India will come before Noida in lexicographic order. And the value that I'll get here is the difference of their Unicode values. That means the first mismatch characters that I encounter, I'll take the difference. So the first mismatch I encounter is in the first position itself, and I'll take the difference of the Unicode values of these two characters and I'll get a value of minus 5. So the answer is minus 5. Now, what about the fifth one? System.out.println name1 dot equals name2. So the equals method is used to check two strings for equality. Now, are these two strings equal? Obviously, we can easily find out, or we can easily observe that these two strings are not the same, and that's why this will yield a Boolean value of false. Remember, the equals method will return a true value if the two strings are same, and it will return a false value if they are not the same strings. Now, coming to number F, what we have here is name1.substring. Now, this is interesting. We have the substring method with us. Now, what does the substring method do? The substring method will give us a smaller string from a larger string. So, if I take the substring, let's say I have India. Now, from India, IND is a substring. IND is a substring of India. The name India itself is a substring as well. So remember, the original string is also a substring of itself. That's point number one. And another thing is, how does substring work in Java? Here we have name1.substring. In fact, we have a number of built-in statements here. In fact, 2 to be precise. And we will evaluate the index of first. Why? Because remember, the parenthesis is left associative. So if I go from left to right, I'll encounter name1.substring, and substring on what? Substring on 0, comma this part. So I have to evaluate this part in order to get the end index, right? Because substring will generally take two values. The first one is the begin index and the next one is the end index. Now I know the begin index is 0. I do not know the end index, so I need to find it. What is the end index that I'll get from here? The value that I'll get from here will be the end index. And what is the value that I'll get from here? See, name2.index of A. What is name2? Name2 is Noida. Index of A, that means the first time I encounter a small a, I will note that index. So the first time I encounter an A is here and its index is 4. So here I'll be left with 4. So I have to now take the substring of name1 from 0 till 4. So will I consider both these ends, both these values? No. I'll consider the lower limit. I'll consider the begin index. That means I'll start from 0, but I'll go till the end index minus 1. That means I will get the characters from 0 to 3. This is the range that I'll be getting the characters from. So, which is my name1 string? My name1 string is India. Starting from 0, I have I, N, D, I. So, the substring that I get is I, N, D, I. I, N, D, I. Right? Now, let's move on to the next one. Another substring question here. See, name1.substring 0, name1.length. What does the length method return? The length method returns the number of characters present in the string. So, the number of characters present in name1, as we can see, is 5. So, we will take the substring in this case from 0 to 4. So 0 to 4 will give us INDIA. That means the entire string itself. So number G is INDIA, India. And what about the last one? So I'll write the solution here for the last one, number H. Number H, we have string name4 equal to name1.concat. What is concat? Concat will simply append this hyphen at the end of name1. What is name1? Name1 is India. So the result of this will be INDIA and a hyphen. What about the next one? String name5 equal to name4.concat name2. Now, what is name4? Name4 is this India along with a hyphen, and I'll concatenate this with name2. What is name2? Name2 is Noida. So the result that I'll get from here is, or rather the string name5, will take a value of INDIA hyphen, which is my name4, concatenated with name2. What is name2? Name2 is Noida. So I'll simply append NOIDA at the end of the string. And when I print out name5, when I print out name5, I'll get this output, India hyphen Noida. So my final output is INDIA hyphen NOIDA. Right? So I hope these questions, these 8 questions, will prove to be useful to you. Thank you.